What did you learn in the class? What kind of career do you think you might want to pursue? Do you think you might use some of that training in your career objectives?
I learned a lot of stuff. I learned how to solve problems and actually not just looking at the problem like that's the problem, like putting it into real life, I guess you could say. And I actually want to become a second grade teacher. I like really... and using math, like using algebra, even though you're in second grade, is still useful, I guess. Because it's 2 plus something equals like 4, so yeah.
That's great. And Guadalupe, what do you hope to do?
Well, I have 2 careers in mind. One of them is to be a pediatrician, and my second career is to be a veterinarian.
And my guess is you might need to use math to figure out how much medicine to give to those poor animals. Don't want to give them too much, too little. Don't want to get confused by the conversions to metric system and so on, right? Yeah, I bet. Great job. I think here is a great example of what a program like SUDA can do. Alexis, Guadalupe, we're thrilled that you're willing to take the time to share your personal stories with us. I know that's not easy to do to a small group of people like this. My guess is you are probably better math students now than most of the people in the room. The SUDA program specifically finds students like these 2 young ladies who struggled with math in their 7th grade pre-algebra class, but were motivated to learn and do better. We're glad that our program at Silicon Valley Education Foundation has made a difference to the 2 of them and to 1,000 others like them. A large part of their success is due to teachers like Jeremy Adams.
Thank you.
Jeremy was one of the 20 teachers that worked in the SUDA program last summer. 1,000, I think you heard earlier from Faisal that there are, or was it Muhammad who said that there are 242,000 children. We're close to the worst state in the country in terms of performance. 1,000 is great, but my challenge to everybody in this room is how do we create an environment where we could take those kids who need the help, the tens of thousands, and put them through a SUDA program in the future years. What I'd like to do now is ask Mr. Adams what's different about teaching a summer course other than the fact it's in the middle of the summer.
Well, I'd like to start by saying the program generally lasts upwards of 20 days, and we focus in on concepts. We go up to 4 hours a day in math, and that might sound daunting and almost too much, but it's not at all. Because what our students need is in-depth mastery of some of the pre-algebra skills, so they go into algebra strong. You can hear it in how these 2 young ladies are talking. What we do is we demystify math for them. We help them to see that it's been there all along. They've been able to do this all along. They just needed to see it a different way or to have a little bit more time. I can't tell you how many times in my class during the summer I would hear this, "Oh, I get it," in the corner of the room. Because that kid had seen that concept so many times and not gotten it. And that's my cue immediately to go into some kind of collaborative work, because that kid, sure as anything, wants to tell everybody around them what they just figured out. And those other kids are going to learn from that student. And it builds this momentum. For you guys. That's why programs like SUDA are so important, because they go beyond. They help to push the limits of how we're teaching our kids and allowing them access to everything in math that they should have. You know, I've gone back and forth what I wanted to share with you. And we have had a lot of downtime being nervous, but one of the things I want to share with you is specific around access. Both of these ladies are not just talking about getting into geometry next year when they go to high school. They're talking about doing it this summer so they can take off an Algebra 2 next year. I mean, that's the level of ambition and confidence that's been instilled in them because of this program. So I cannot emphasize enough how important this is and the work that all these different organizations that have come together around math. It's just wonderful. As a teacher, I feel very privileged to be a part of this. So thank you.
So again, this year, 20 teachers, 1,000 students. Challenge, can we get to 500 teachers and 50,000 students over the next couple of years? All it takes is a few dollars. And we'll have great students like Alexis and Guadalupe. So thank you to the panel.